Holy shit. I don't even know what else to say. Like, somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me, and I will get into this. There is so much to cover. Um, I'm in shock right now. Uh, what up, MX, Luke, Brandon? Sexton is champion, just so you know. Unbelievable. You guys can hear me, right? Just give me, let me know. Oh, so during the race, I'm texting with Hopper, Coach, the usual crew, and I saw his ankle do what it did. I saw his reaction. I instantly I told Hopper, that's his Achilles tendon. It's over. Sexton's champion. Um, how do I know this? I've done that. It sucks. Achilles tendon is not fun. It's a horrible, horrible injury to have. I knew it was an Achilles by his reaction. Him look down and like it felt for me when it happened to me. I landed and I thought it felt like a 2x4. You know, you hit it. If you've ever ran over a 2x4, something flips you in the back of the leg and damn, it hurts. That's what the Achilles tendon feels like. And then you go to move your foot and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, your ankle is like, I went home, loaded my bike, but I knew something was wrong. I could still move my foot just a little bit, but it was a complete rupture. Dino, what's up, brother? Yeah, and I would say you could, if it was the right leg, if he wanted to do some Willis Reed crazy shit, he could tape it. But on the shift side, no chance. That means Sexton, not that he was going to do it, even if it was on the right-hand side. Aloha, Matthew V. But yeah, gosh, dang. So this is crazy, guys. And I was driving over here with my daughter, telling her about the situation and how this all affects it. And she made a really funny comment. So what happens is Tomac's, honestly, this sucks. I'm heartbroken for him. But here's what it does to the landscape. And I know we don't want to talk about this yet because I would love to see Tomac come back. But if he does come back, it won't be until next year, Supercross. He could still theoretically come back if he chooses to. I don't see that happening. I see Star now grabbing Cooper Webb for next year and Super Motocross. That's what they've wanted. They've wanted to reunite that with Webb and Star, and they were kind of waiting. The whole thing was, is Eli going to continue? Because if he's going to continue, we can't have Webb and Eli on the same team. But that looks like it's worked itself out on accident, which sucks. So we're probably going to see Cooper Webb on the Star Yamaha. And I was explaining this to my daughter, and she goes, wow, what an unstable job to have. I was like, man, that's the understatement of the year. What an unstable job to have. I was like, yeah, these poor guys, like literally one guy has his dreams dashed, his championship pulled from him. I mean, I can't even imagine how bad. I mean, yeah. But yet we're talking, and unfortunately, I'm the one talking about it, like how this changes the entire landscape of the off season. And now we may see just unfortunately, one more seat just opened up. Sexton has already signed with KTM, Merck Crew Cab. He is already on his way to KTM, but looks like he'll be riding the number one KTM, which is crazy. They're going to have number one on the bike. I did not see that. I don't think they saw that. Who'd have guessed? Literally 2 weeks ago, we go back and we say, Sexton has a chance. Tomac's pretty much out of, or Eli's out of it. Or Sexton has a long shot. Webb could make it happen, and Eli, it's pretty much his. Now, the guy in third that we said really didn't have a chance is your champion. It's crazy. But yeah, knowing, yeah, and Eli's age, he's on the wrong side of 30, which sucks. That's not that old, like I said. Eserek, I guess the injury really makes the whole they are fast in their 30s these days need to be looked at again. No. What I've said, and I'll stand by this, you're in your athletic prime between 30 or like 25 and 35. But the one thing about when you get on the other side of 30, things start going. Achilles tendon will snap. When you have an injury, you don't recover as quickly. It does change some things. You're not 22, but then you also have a different mindset. Um, yeah. And I've always thought this, they say right on the balls of your feet. I don't know. Yes, you should ride on the balls of your feet, but maybe we need to change foot pegs. Have you guys ever seen those? They call them the heel savers. Maybe you guys need to use heel savers. The ankle savers, I actually think they're not a bad idea. Real Talk podcast, Honda is going to throw the bag at him. No, they can't. It's already signed. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I would go to Fox Raceway because we're going to see the good part about this is Jet is moving up to the 450 class, and we're going to see Jet and Sexton now go head to head. I was really excited to see Tomac, Jet, and Sexton, but we'll see. Yeah, gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really taken back. I'm kind of gutted for him. And then to see Adam Cianciarulo straight break down on the podium in tears. How could you not be happy for Adam? But I took so much shit at the beginning of this year when people asked me about Adam, and I said he was on the fence on whether he was even going to be able to continue or his career was over. Well, I was right, and guess what? Apparently they're listening. He's getting stem cell. That's what I've been calling for. He is a great guy. Adam Cianciarulo is a great guy. The sport is better with Adam Cianciarulo in it. Yeah. You know what, though? Esterage stem cell is extremely expensive. But at this point in Adam's career, if you told him, here's $1 million, but your wrist will be fixed, no problem. Like, he couldn't hand that money off fast enough. He can make that back if his wrist is healthy. That's why he couldn't hold off Ken Roxon tonight. His wrist goes numb. So hopefully that will get figured out. I'm glad Kawasaki is staying with him. Yeah, and I wanted to give a giant hug too. Like, to see the tears on his eyes lets you know he didn't think he'd ever get up there again. He's not sure about this wrist. And like I said, I told you guys, and everyone's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. They said the wrist is fine. Nah, you're wrong, guys. I did know, and I do have somebody pretty close to him. Let's see. Hercules Rounds. Any idea where Colt Nichols goes for outdoor? I think Husky will pick him up for a substitute outdoor. I look for Colt Nichols to go World Supercross. Yeah. So I look for him to go World Supercross, and I was disappointed that he didn't take advantage of it tonight and actually get a podium. I don't know what happened to him, Grayson. I'm sorry. I was still taken back. The whole Tomac thing blew my mind. And I was just like, all this stuff's running through my head. I'm trying to figure out, could he tape it up? Is it broke? Is it his knee? Well, I knew what it was, but we were speculating back and forth and with, our group text. But as soon as they showed the replay where I saw his foot go like that, and I saw the almost delayed reaction, like I said, we base our opinions and our suggestions off of what we've done in the past. I've done that in the past. I snapped my Achilles tendon. It was awful. And it's a slow, long ass recovery. And the thing about Tomac is, I don't know how much he rides or like runs. Running is probably going to be out of the question for a while. Yeah. AZ Turbo Mini. I got to ask, why on the same time as Hopper? I didn't know Hopper was on. Probably because Hopper saw that and just like me, just wanted to talk about it. I've been doing the overreaction pods right after. So I don't know. There's plenty of room on YouTube for everybody. I like to archive these shows anyway. And, okay, he just finished. So, yes, they said on the show that Adam is getting stem cells. I didn't actually, there's no inside information. That was literally announced on the broadcast. But you guys have known I've been literally lobbying for that. I told Nick Way to tell him that. I said go to Puerto Rico. Yeah. But either way, I'm glad he's going and glad he's getting it done. Let's walk down these results. These results are crazy. So Chase Sexton, your 2023, number 23 is your champion in 2023. Dorian Goebel. I think they did actually probably. I mean, well, listen, I'm not going to take credit for telling him to go get stem cells. At this point, you don't know what else to do. But yes, I did tell Nick Way, and they do know what I was saying. I pray it works for Adam. I really hope it does, and I'm not going to take credit for it because they know. Let's see. So Chase Sexton, your champ, won tonight. Roxon on the Suzuki looked great. Came through the pack, got past Adam Cianciarulo, which normally on a regular night with full guys, this probably would have been a 6th place finish. But hey, you got to be in it to win it. A lot of people are probably going to look down on Chase Sexton and they're going to try and take this away from him, saying, "Oh, it was given to him," or like when Austin Forkner gave it to him. It doesn't matter. You have to be in it to win it. He did everything his Wes Lester, Google says 4 to 6 months to heal. Yes, but you're talking, so he's an elite athlete. He heals faster, but he's also going to ask more of it. Like I said, it took me a long time. I was a little older and not with the same stuff he has, but yeah. So yeah, 23, 23, 23. It just works. But you got to be in it to win it. And the silly season just got sillier because now it looks like Star needs a 450 guy. Roxon, hold on for a second. Adam Cianciarulo, I'm sorry, that's the feel-good podium of the year. If that's his last one, we don't know. It was great. I hope he clearly made the best of it. He'll be around the sport in some aspect or the other. He's just too good a guy. I would believe. Listen, I'm completely speculating. I'm overreacting on the Overreaction show, but yes, I would say because of what just happened to Eli Tomac, you're going to see Cooper Webb on a Star Yamaha next year, or probably as soon as the Supermoto World Stupid Championships. Justin Hill, man, I want to say he should get a factory ride, but maybe they could just get some better equipment or more money to that program. Justin Hill is riding with a focus. Justin Hill can be a guy that will win and actually really make some noise. Justin Hill's badass. Shane McElrath. There's another guy I was extremely happy for, a guy who's been through some shit, man. He has been through some shit. And to fight on a hard pack track, which he's really good at, to end up 5th, good on him. Dean Wilson, 6th. Good on Dean. I would think when the field thins out, he would be better, but and then Josh Hill. I apologize, guys. I didn't do my Overreaction show. Spending time riding bikes with my daughter. This was so depleted, and I'll be honest with you, I thought the series was over. I figured Tomac ride it in a second, Sexton would win. We're just gonna have a boring finish. But I did text my buddy Steve at EBC, and I told him Josh Hill is your number 7. So the wild card, I did nail that. Kyle Chisholm is 8th. Grant Harlan, after a dislocated shoulder last week, comes back this week and gets a 9th. What a badass. Awesome. Justin Starling, 10th. Anthony Rodriguez, he ran up there. This is a great time for these guys. And like I said on the other show I did, the preview show, or the what's it called? The Cliff Notes. Sorry, I'm just like, guys, I'm still just literally blown away. But like I said on Cliff Notes, these guys, Starling, Rodriguez, Cartwright, Clayson, Noren, all these guys in the top 15, nobody's going to look back and say, oh, that was the year that it was all emptied out. They're going to say, dude, you got 4th at a Supercross. You got 6th at a Supercross. You were top 10 in a 450 class. And that's all that matters. And then, guys, think about this. Jet clinched tonight. I'm 14 minutes in, and I haven't even mentioned him. But good on Jet. I think we're all getting a little bit of oversaturation on the Lawrence brothers. So I'm going to start with RJ Hampshire. Yeah, the only way Tomac could show up next week, he's not. I mean, he's not. So I went downhill mountain biking 3.5 months after. I had that thing taped up like it was frozen. Like I might as well have jumped off the lift and I couldn't move my ankle. You could do that, essentially cast his leg, but it's a shift side, so there's no way. Like I said, if you were going to just cast it and let him use the brake, possibly, but no chance. There's zero possibility he rides next week. It would take a complete miracle, but I don't know. The way this season's gone, I don't know. But then he's got to, not only does he have to do that, Now he's got to make up 9 points. So it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for him to ride. It doesn't make sense for him to do it. RJ Hampshire, what a beast. I was so pumped. Listen, it's crazy how one night for one guy is gutted. Like, I don't know how you can't feel bad for Eli Tomac. Even if you don't like Tomac, how can you not feel bad for what happened? But on the other side, how can you not feel good for a guy like RJ? RJ who really rode his ass off. He never quits. He's just always there. He's come back from a traumatic brain injury. He's come back for some injuries, and he just keeps fighting. He seems like a really good family man. I don't think he's faking it like some of these guys. RJ just to fight and get the win. Good for him, man. That felt good. Levi Kitchen. Levi had some cramps in the second session, which, okay, so just so you guys know, if you get an IV on race day, you're supposed to sit out the rest of the day. You're not allowed to have an IV during the day. For a guy to have a cramp in that second session and come back and do as good as Levi did, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, my educated guess is he got an IV. Just saying. But like I said, I don't think that they should be banned from IVs. I think they should do whatever they want. We wouldn't have to worry about it. But I'm pretty sure that the only way to come back from a cramp like that where you actually have to pull off is to go get an IV, which I bet he did. Jet Lawrence did exactly what he needed to do, rode home in third. Enzo Lopes got fourth. Man, he wants a podium. He's close. He's fast. He was fastest guy in that first session. Sean Zimmerman. I don't like Eli, but I feel bad. I also like Chase and his money we gave away of season. Yeah, like seriously, how do you? Oh, I know, guys. Seriously, I'm blown away too. I cannot believe this. How about Mitchell Oldenburg, fifth? Good on Mitchell Oldenburg. Doing it for the old guys. Max Voland looked good up there for a little while. Rumor is he's going to star. And Levi was going to go to KTM. Sounds like Levi is going to Pro Circuit, which was where Max was going to go. It's going to be I think it's going to be a little bit of a silly season. And I don't know that we can really stamp anything until it's announced in October or we see a contract. But it looks like Levi Kitchen to Pro Circuit and Max Voland to star. That's what I'm hearing. Derek Kelly, seventh. Carson Mumford. Hey, how about Mumford? He looked good. Chris S. I'm in a weird haze. Same here, man. I don't even know. Like, I'm just like, wow. Harold Gray. Has anyone heard the rumor of Shimoda going to HRC? Harold, that's a done deal. That one I'm going to sign off on. That's a done deal. Shimoda's going to HRC, just FYI. Like I said, some of them are rumors. The Levi and Max are rumors. Shimoda's done. Sexton's done. Those are the only two that I'm sure. Mookie re-upped with Husqvarna. Anderson re-upped with Kawasaki. Cianciarulo re-upped with Kawasaki. So, I don't know about the paid medical leave. These guys are kind of weird about that. I don't know. I feel like Malcolm just does what he feels like whenever he does it. But I really hope Pro Circuit finds a spot for Carson Mumford. For a guy to jump in after what he's been through the last couple of years, he showed speed. He showed flashes. And, I mean, he's coming off a torn calf muscle. And it's funny because he's riding with the heel savers that I said, the foot pegs. I think you're going to see a lot more of those guys using those after this. It's crazy how it takes something like this to a Tomac before guys will use equipment that kind of looks silly, but you need it. Zach Schlater, I believe Sexton was content on his growth towards the end of the season, being consistent. Yeah, absolutely. Chris S. Roxon could win the championship outdoors if he races outdoors. That's still up in the air. I think World Supercross really wants him to come defend that title, and I believe they're in deep negotiations for some fat dollars to get him over there to do that. Let's see. Sometimes what works is what you need. Yeah, I'm telling you, ankle savers. Ryan Hughes ruined the necklace. Oh yeah, Dino. I haven't. Listen, I'm not for or against neck braces. I think the neck braces, the one that Atlas has, where it's rounded so it doesn't dig you in the ground, it breaks away on a certain amount of impact. I think it can work as long as it doesn't push your head down or restrict you in any way. But if you don't want to wear it, I can't prove that it excessively works. I can't say that it for sure works or for sure doesn't. I'm really not sure on the neck brace. I can tell you the original Liat braces that went down your spine were bullshit, and they caused more injuries. They paralyzed my friend, who you guys know, and he watches a lot of these. I don't know why I'm drawing blank on his head, just because I'm still in a haze over the whole Tomac thing. But yeah, one of these days he said he's going to stop by the shop one of these days, and we're going to do an interview and talk to him. He was training at Millsap's training facility. He was one of the fastest kids to come out of Vegas. We're at Sandy Valley, and he was wearing a Liat, and it pushed in on his spine, and from then on, he's in a wheelchair. Now he's got a pool cleaning business. But great kid, great guy. So, but yeah, you never know. Yeah. World Supercross pays a lot more than outdoors for all the riders. AZ Turbo Mini, 100%. And I'm telling you guys, as fans, we need to get behind. People ask what we can do to fix this sport, what we can do to help this sport. We need to support World Supercross. World Supercross puts pressure on Feld and MX Sports to pay the riders more, to make this more of a profitable season or like a profitable sport. I'm not asking these promoters hand over money they don't have. All I'm asking for is a percentage split. Right now, the riders in the United States get about 6% of the take from these supercrosses when you figure in sponsor money, ticket money, TV money. 6% goes back to the riders. Every other professional sport is around 40. That's all I'm asking for. And guess what? If we have a really bad year, nobody buys tickets. If it's a percentage split, the riders don't get it. Dino, yes, 6%. That's about what it is. It might be a little bit higher this year since they added that money in, but I don't know. But then again, they might be getting more from Monster in the TV contract. I'm not really sure. But if they gave 40 to 50%, I would shut up. I literally had a conversation with Davey Coombs about this. I said, Davey, pay him 50%. I think I even said, like, pay him 40%. You'll never hear from me again about this. He freaked out, told me it's not there. I showed him right where it's there. I showed him the contracts that I got from his business partners. And I said, Davey, I'm not asking for money that's not there. I'm asking for a percentage. If you can show that you spent this to have the race, then you don't split it. But they don't. Yeah. So Martin Ferreira from Argentina. I love Argentina. I've been to Buenos Aires. It's awesome. I went there and visited Repsol when Repsol had their headquarters there. It was a fun trip. We did a river run down El Tigre. It was awesome. Dino, at this point, 20% would make these guys feel rich. It would. It absolutely would. Mr. Average, I think the PBR bull riders make more money. They absolutely do. And you can't tell me that there's more than that. The Pulp MX event helps racing, even though there was some politics, but money is money. No, you're absolutely right. And I have not once said that that wasn't good for all those privateers. It's awesome. I just don't want to make Steve out to be Santa Claus because he's kind of a dick. But however you infuse money into this sport, I'm all for it. And like I said, that's why Hopper and we ended the show earlier to support that race, to get more people watching. And I will 100% promote if Steve wants to do any more ego races or whatever he wants to do, I'm in. I'll support it, and I'm not going to be pissed at it. I love that he gave all those guys that money. I talked to Bobby Piazza before he flew out there, and I was like, go get that money, man. Good for you. A lot of the guys that don't like Steve personally, if they have to shut their mouth to get into that race, so be it. But that's the way of this sport. Shut your mouth, go along, get along, or else. It starts at the top and it goes all the way down. And Steve's just following what his boss, Davey Coombs, does and what Feld does. It's the same thing. Matthew V, hope you've been to Hawaii yet. Have you? Oh, yeah, I've been to Hawaii. I love Hawaii, dude. Maui's my favorite island. I've been to the motocross track, the go-kart track out there. I don't think Mathis could podium next week, Steve, or Chris S. But yeah, I love Hawaii, that track out there. I've been to Kauai, been to the Big Island, been to Honolulu. I love Hawaii. So yeah, it's awesome. What happened to Bobby? Well, he got suspended and then he's on probation, but he raced tonight. He did okay. He's riding with a broken hand though. Hopefully we're going to get him on a program with Coach Rob and get him a supercross track to practice at. We'll see what we can do for him. I did a good interview with him this week. What do you think about Riders Union? Will it ever happen? I don't know that it will ever happen. It needs to happen. It absolutely needs to happen. But I think what will more likely happen is if we can support World Supercross, that's a business plan that supports the teams. That will actually put more money in riders' pockets, and they can choose which team to go for, and it will put a lot more pressure on the United States series competition, and giving these guys another series to compete against them it drives up the riders' value. Um, just Plankin, a union will kill the sport. How? How? Just explain to me how it will kill the sport, because I think that's the dumbest statement I've heard in a long time. A union will kill the sport. Dino Cooksey, can you put up some of your riding videos on YouTube? Um, which videos? I don't. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean on that, Dino. I don't have a lot of content. Like I said, I wasn't that good. I wrote in a time in the 90s when you had to have a video recorder and a tape, and I got some pictures and stuff. I got a lot of still pictures, but I don't have a ton of old videos. Yeah. So let's see. MX Man. Oh, Steve was on a high horse hearing Pulpamex on the live broadcast. He's a tool and he didn't drop his 100K. He just used the contacts and facilities. So, hey, and like I said, I'm not hating on that. Good on him. It's a brilliant way to market himself. And he did put a lot of effort and time into it, and I don't want to take that away. Like I said, I don't like Steve personally. I think he's a douche, but when I see something that's pretty cool, I'm not going to say that's where him and I are different. I'm not going to say that's a bad idea. I think it's a really cool thing. It's a great thing for the privateers. It gets money in a lot of guys. I still wish he would have let Snake Dog race and not had been so political about it, but I'm not going to say that's a bad idea because it's a great idea. Even though I dislike Steve, I'm not going to say that was a shitty idea. Whereas like Steve and some of those guys, if I said something, even if it's a great idea, they'll say it's a stupid idea just because I said it. I'll say it's a good idea, even if it's not my idea, if it's just a good idea. So that's where we're at. I 100% believe the sport needs a union. I don't. Union will cause tickets to go up as well as everything else. You don't think tickets are high enough as is? I think they're squeezing every damn dime they can out of it. All a union will do is take the ticket money and it will change that percentage from 6% to like 40 or 50%. That's all I want. It is what it is. So I don't think that that's the case. And when you have the riders invested, and if they know that they're getting 40%, and they can see those stadiums are being empty, they're going to help sell tickets. You're now a partner and not just some volunteer. So Deegan is going to take Tomac's spot now. Not really. He's got his own program. Deegan runs his own program. He'll be 250 for a few more years. There's no reason to rush him to the 450. The union will get a cut, a big cut. I think it's like 10%. So the union would get 10% from the 40%. But that's still 30% more than they're getting right now. Or I'm sorry, 24% more than they're getting right now. Yeah. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate everything. Cooksey Mob rules. I'm still just blown away. I'm gutted for Tomac. You know what? Pay tribute. We just got one of the greatest riders, Dorian Goebel. I do think that's the last we're going to see Tomac. I think he was on the edge of returning, not returning. That might be it for him. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I think that's it for Tomac. He's been an ambassador for the sport, a savage, one of the most fun riders. He single-handedly kept the chase format from being implemented by making those seasons exciting when he had all those issues and doing his crazy rides where he just all of a sudden got a 10th place out of nowhere. Yeah. This is a sport, man. It's not over till it's over. It's crazy. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Dino, keep up. I appreciate all you guys supporting, and I love chatting with you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm pretty busy these days. I got 3 jobs and this YouTube. So, but if you guys need a house, hit up my friend Leanne. I'm actually getting my real estate license also. So if you guys anyone's moving out here, AZ Turbo Mini, I hope I'm wrong too. I really do. But I just want Tomac at this point as one of the great champions. I would like for him to just hang around the sport, be an ambassador for the sport, and do whatever makes him happy. He's got 2 kids. Yeah. So, bummer. Okay. Hopper, what up, my man? So, let's see. What is a ruptured Achilles like? A year healing time? Well, everyone's a little different. That's the one thing about any sort of injury period is every single person heals differently. For a basketball player, it's a year because they got to go back to running. For a motocross rider, you could probably get back in 6 months. The problem is I don't know what Tomac does for his training. Is he just on a bike? Does he run? Does he want to risk having it come back? Like, because if you snap that thing a second time, that's bad. Yeah, I don't know. So it's brutal. Okay, all right, guys. You have a good night. Peace out.